Hello, YouTube universe. It's the Mr. and Mrs. Lifecast. We're doing a food cast. This is a follow-up, a second food cast. We've already done one on making some sausage cheese dip. So this is another one. This is going to be we're going to do a family recipe that's been passed down for a few years now. It's one of my specialties that I make, and it's one that I think you guys will really like. So I'm the Mr. Tommy D.
I'm the Mrs.
And we're going to get right to it. So what we're doing here is we're making it's a special mashed potatoes with sausage and some other ingredients in it. But it's something that, my mother made and passed down to me. And we're going to also give you some great life hacks, some little time hacks, actually I'd like to call it, where these are some things that'll save you some time. Some people don't like making mashed potatoes from scratch because it can be time consuming. But there's some tips we can give you that'll make it a lot quicker and make it more efficient, and you'll just love eating it. I think it's great. So hopefully we can be your idiot savants of cooking, hopefully with the savant part.
And this is my first time trying them, so I'll let you know. I'll be an honest and tell you exactly what I think.
Yeah, that's right. It's this is one that I haven't made for the missus yet. We're a newly married couple, so she doesn't know all the secrets yet. So
Sure.
I'm going to be giving away a lot of the secrets that I learned as a child. I mean, I've been cooking since I was 11, 12 years old. If I get hit with a lightning bolt tonight, it's probably my mother throwing them down for giving some of her secrets away. But sometimes you gotta share. So what we got going on here? First thing is we're boiling the potatoes. You can see right there. And what we're gonna do is just gonna give you a little background on what we were doing as far as preparing the potatoes, and we're gonna give you one of these right now.
So this is our time hack.
And what we're doing is one of the ways to save time when you're doing some potatoes from scratch, mashed potatoes. Leave the skin on. I mean, unless you're somebody that's just absolutely anti-skin on, you can rinse the potatoes just fine with the skin. The skin doesn't hurt anything. I think it actually adds a little flavor. So leave the skin on. That'll save you a lot of time peeling potatoes. The other thing you want to do that'll make it go faster is just quickly cut the potatoes into fours. Take your potato and cut it into 4 sections, and that'll make it boil faster and get the potatoes softer. The other thing is just don't, just when you're cutting the potatoes, you've got to determine how much mashed potatoes you want to make. I've made as many as 10 to 15 pounds of mashed potatoes because I was cooking for a big audience. And then this one was just 3 pounds of potatoes. It was just basically we had some potatoes laying around. The other thing that's good for making these kind of potatoes is sometimes a lot of people have potatoes that are going bad. These potatoes were starting to go bad. They're starting to show those little eyeball things on them. And so I just, you just cut off the little eyeball parts of the potato, and you just start making mashed potatoes with it. It's a good way to save food. I grew up poor, and saving food was a big thing because, any food that wastes could be a meal that you're not getting to eat. So I think it's very important to conserve food as best you can. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take the potatoes that I just showed you that are boiling. We're going to empty out the water and shut off the heat. Also,
Show them your other time hack.
Also, we're going to show you all the ingredients we're going to be working with.
Sure.
And then we'll do a time hack.
And by the way, the skin is the most nutritious part of the potato anyway, so when you peel it off.
So you should just keep it.
So I think to keep it is great. And I thought potatoes went bad once you get the little eyes in them, so I learned something from the hubby today.
That's right.
Which was very good. He's always good with useful information.
You just don't waste stuff if you can. I mean, it's just, nobody's rich out there. I mean, if you're rich, you're probably not even watching this, but either way, I mean, why waste food, People starving out there. So here's what we got. These are the ingredients we're going to use. Again, here's an overview of the potatoes. Here's an overview of we've ground some meat. This is actually some sausage and some hamburger mixed. What I want to show you here is just the difference between the essential stuff and the optional stuff. At a minimum, you've got to have your potatoes and your, let me get this out of the way, your potatoes, your milk, your butter or margarine, whatever you prefer, and some sausage. I like to use Jimmy Dean maple. Everybody's different. So, you know, you can add things. The thing I want to make sure to emphasize is don't be scared to add things. Don't be scared to experiment a little. Throw in a little chives or whatever you want to throw in. Some of the optional things that I'm going to use are some garlic, a little bit of shredded cheese, and I added some ground meat. So it's not just sausage on this one, but sausage is the minimum you need just so for the integrity of the dish we're making. So just don't be scared, you know, don't be scared to try a few things. So these are the little things I'm adding just for a little flavor and a little color. So first thing we're gonna do, and this is gonna be the...
So this is our time hack.
So we're gonna take, one of the things I encourage people who wanna make mashed potatoes or anything that involves boiling is to invest. You see right here, I'm gonna show you. Invest in a pot that has a built-in strainer. This brand is Gotham Steel. It's one of my favorite brands. It's what I like to use. And it's just easier than having a separate strainer. It's got, right here as you can see, these little devices that keep the pot in place so it doesn't move. And then all you gotta do is just carry it over to your sink. And this is it, just tilt it. And it does the rest. It's one less dish to do, and it's just quicker because you don't have to transfer the potatoes to and from a strainer back to the pot. It's all in one step. So it is just, it's a godsend. It's so quick. Then, you know, you're gonna take off the top, and first thing we're gonna do is mash it. Now, Mrs., you were asking me before about this. You remember?
I was saying, are you going to get out the mixer and mix the potatoes? And he said, no, he does it the old school way with the mashers.
My experience has just shown me that by the time you take out the electric mixer, you plug it in, you put the little things in, the little beaters, and then you have to clean that after. You're not saving any time with that. These are just two mashers. They're very easy to clean. You just throw them in the dishwasher. I just think it's just quicker. If you're somebody that physically doesn't have the strength to do it or something, I guess that's different. But if you're physically able to, it's easier to just mash this.
And now he doesn't have to go to the gym and work out his arms. There's the mashing for
Exactly. So that's all we need. And the other thing is, you know, some people are going to ask, you know, creamy, lumpy. It's whatever you want. We're just showing you the quickest ways to do it. I think one of the big things about cooking that some people is they get too mechanical. They get too worried about statistics. What's the exact measurement? This and that and the other. You just got to use your eyes and your taste buds. You know, as far as how you want to do this, how much milk you want to put in, it really depends on how big of a dish you're making, how many potatoes you're using. But in general, I'd say maybe like a cup of milk for every pound of potatoes. Or if you're somebody that's got to have numbers. But in general, what you're going to do is first, you're just going to mash it. Take your two mashers. If you can hold that up, you just get in there and you just go at it. Two mashers. Use two mashers to save time. That would be, I guess, another time hack that we didn't do. So just hold this over the top so you can see the taters.
Okay, I see the taters.
Right there. That's good.
Okay.
And you can see I'm just using two mashers. I think using two mashers is just as quick as using an electric mixer, and it's less cleanup. These are way easier to clean up than all that mixer parts, and it's just as fast in my opinion, and it's not that much effort. If you boil this right, I would say an hour to about an hour of boiling, unless you're using just a tremendous amount of potatoes, then you might need another half hour, but if you boil them right and you're patient and you boil, which is not any extra effort on your part, you're just sitting there, and then you just do this.
And I thought you always needed a recipe for things, and I would always look stuff up and measure things, and I'm learning a lot.
I'm not anti recipes just to give you an idea what to do, but people, you just don't be afraid to do what just don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to do what you want to do. Don't be afraid to taste it. Add things in. And again, what I'm doing is I'm just doing this to get the excess potato out of the corners here and get it all together. And look, it didn't take me that long. We're good. Now what we do, what I like to do in order is I like to add first my butter. I like to get that butter touching the potatoes, and it gets you nice and it gets it nice and buttery is how I like it. And again, don't be afraid to use a lot. I mean, if you're concerned about calories or what have you, use your own best judgment. I like to put a nice amount in so it coats the really nicely coats the potatoes.
Is that? Can you see?
There you go.
Okay.
Now you can see really well what I'm talking about. And forgive us, but it is a little bit hard to angle, you know, an iPad camera, which is what we're using. And then you just add the milk in. And I just like to add a bit. You know, this is about maybe an eighth of the bottle, maybe. And then I mix it around and see what it looks like. Use your eyes. Use your eyes. Use your taste buds. Taste it if you need to. I don't need to do that so much because I've been doing these for a long time. But there you go. And you just want to get it so it looks like mashed potatoes. That's it. Nothing fancy. And then these are some of the extras. I mean, again, this is all you need at minimum, but once I get it looking kind of like mashed potatoes, then I like to throw in the meat. I mean, these are your essentials. The milk, the butter, and the meat. And again, we're not fancy. We're going to use the same spoon because I'm not trying to do too many dishes here. And you just mix in some meat. Use your eyeballs. Look, does it look good to you? Does that look meaty enough to you? If so, then just go with it. But yeah, don't be too hung up on measurements and all that stuff. You use your eyeballs, and does it look palatable? If it does, then it's going to taste palatable.
We try to make it quick and convenient for you. Normally he cooks a lot for me, delicious dishes, and maybe makes 20 minutes.
There you go. Look at that. That looks good right there.
Yeah.
That's really the basis right there of the dish. But we're going to add a few more things. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah,
There's the garlic.
You're going to put a little garlic. Again, that's just for a little bit extra kick. We want a little extra kick. You don't have to do that. That's not essential. And then a little bit, some shredded cheese.
We love our cheese.
Yeah, I mean, we like it to be a little gooey, so that's what the cheese does. And that's it. You just mush it in there. And then just keep stirring it in. That's it. I like mine with a little bit more milk, so I'm going to put a little bit more. So like I said, I mean, don't be afraid. You don't got to get the measurement right the first time. I would say if you're a little bit unsure about what to put in, less is more. Because you can always put more in. If you put too much, then it's a little bit more difficult.
Yep, easier to add a little in than try to take it out.
Exactly.
So.
And I know this looks like it's milky, but as you can see, as I stir it, it mushes in. Got some lumps, but it still looks very creamy, and it's going to be very easy to, to work with and eat.
Yeah. I asked him in the beginning if he liked lumpy potatoes
One other
or
thing I'm
sweet.
going to add in, again, this is just a preference for me, but it's an extra thing to throw in. A little bit of sour cream. A lot of people don't do that. Some do, some don't, but it doesn't overtake the flavor in any way. But this is a little secret that'll make it a little bit more, a little bit creamier. It'll just look creamier and taste a little creamier. So that's all it is. Just one big tablespoon, not too much. Because again, you're not trying to overtake the flavor. And this is it. And again, these are just things to make it more palatable. And look at that. How does that look?
That looks amazing.
Look at that. How's that look to you, Mrs.? She's never seen me make this dish before, so this is new.
Yep.
This is totally new, so she's going to be very objective.
Yes, I will be.
And if you want to put that back in its normal position, the camera,
Yep.
we're going to do our taste, and you guys can see what we're doing here.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Here you go, Mrs.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to scoop a little bit out for you, and I'm going to scoop a little bit out for me.
There you go.
And let's,
Grab a
before we...
little fork.
Yep, and before we eat, let's let everybody see what we got here. All right, let's hold this up so you can see it.
So here we can see it for
All right, and let's see what the missus thinks. It's her
All
first
right.
time ever eating it.
First time. It's delicious.
And just like we said, we like to make things quick and delish.
quick and delish, just like the
Peace.
peace sign.
Exactly. So this is it. You saw the whole thing from beginning to end. It was 15 minutes or less of prep time. You saw all the stuff we put in it. You literally only need to make the basic version of this dish three or four items. That's it. I threw a little bit extra in, but that's all you really need. And this is quick, delicious. Everybody will love this. This is something I love to make, especially around Thanksgiving. It is the hit of Thanksgiving. Whenever I go somewhere to somebody's house, a relative, a friend, and I make this dish, it's the most talked about dish. It's simple, but it's different. And this is something that, you can make very quickly and efficiently. So anyway, if you guys want to give us a like, a subscribe and comment, we would love to hear your comments. If you have any questions, anything like that. What I am going to do is in the description or in the comments, maybe both, I am just going to put a basic bullet point of how to make this. I'm not going to get into measurements. I told you it's not really my thing here. You really have to do that for yourself. Taste, look, decide what works best for you, and don't be afraid to mess with it a little bit. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for looking at this video. And again, quick and delish. And I want to thank everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.